Now, I once stopped working as an escort for a boyfriend. I met this guy and fell in love with him, and he fell in love with me too. But he did not love the fact that I had sex with other men for money. That old chestnut. Things started well, and he was pretty cool, supportive even about my job, until sadly, he wasn't. And things between us started to go rapidly downhill. Now, I loved him and I really wanted the relationship to work, so I hung up my G string and ventured back into the painfully boring and underpaid work world of normal humans. It was crappy and I hated it. Made worse by the fact that my boyfriend had sworn till he was black and blue in the face that my job was the root source of all our relationship problems. But fast forward 6 weeks, and our problems were worse than ever. We fought all the time, and we were miserable together. I mean, we were super unhappy. And so, unsurprisingly, that relationship ended. Man, what a girl will do for love, right? Anyway, not only was I brokenhearted and devastated that the relationship had ended, but I was also broke and needed money stat. Unfortunately, being the genius that I was, I had deleted my former profile, inspired at the time to make a grand gesture of undying love, and now I had to start from scratch. Note to self, next time you quit your career and uproot your whole life plan for a man, make copies of your profile photos and hide them under your bed. Now, I could have gone into a brothel and started working right away, but I really didn't want to. I'd spent enough years in brothels. I was tired of the shitty work environment and unreasonable bosses, and I really didn't want to sit in a dark room for 10 hours a day among 16 other girls, just hoping that a client would walk in and choose me so that I could get paid, knowing that if he didn't, I would leave with nothing. So, what to do? Fast forward to today, it's November 2023, and I now spend my time working with escorts to help them make more money and overcome problems such as these. Now, my story of quitting the job for a guy is honestly not an uncommon one, because sex work and relationships are a bit like oil and water. They're a very tricky mix. Certainly not impossible, but not without their challenges. You may find yourself one day, for any number of reasons, in a situation where you need to make a lot of money fast, but you just don't have the upfront cash to invest in a really high-end, expensive-looking profile that allows you to get listed on sites with strict photo quality guidelines like Scarlet Blue, which tend to attract the more premium clientele. I have personally found myself in this position more than once, and many of the escorts I start work with are in this situation too. So I'm going to tell you the 5-step process I follow when the goal is to make $10,000 or more in 30 days with next to zero cash up front. Let's start at step 1. Maximize exposure in low barrier to entry places. If you don't know, Scarlet Blue is probably currently the most premium escort advertising platform in Australia. And while I think it's a must to advertise there if your goal is to become a high-class escort who attracts the most premium clientele, it is not the place to go when you need to make a lot of money fast and you're starting from scratch. Not only do your photos need to be of professional quality, but they also have a lengthy and selective startup process with multiple steps and hoops you need to jump through to actually get a profile live. I've known it to take up to 2 weeks for girls to actually get a profile up due to these things. When you need to make money fast, this is wasted effort and time. So instead, look for advertising sites that allow you to upload photos and get a profile live immediately. And do it on as many advertising sites that advertise specifically in your area as possible. What I mean by that is, if you're in the city of, say, Melbourne, look for advertising sites that have dedicated pages on their site for Melbourne escorts. Likewise, if you're going to work in Geelong, look for sites that have Geelong escorts. If you're in Newcastle, look for Newcastle escorts. If you're in Manhattan, look for Manhattan escorts, and so on. To find these websites, simply go to Google and type in Melbourne escorts, or wherever you are, followed by escorts. Then go down the list in the order that they appear and put a profile up anywhere that allows you to do it fast and with ease. You might be short on advertising funds and not able to afford to be on endless sites. So go in the order that they appear in the Google search. Why? Because that's the same order that clients will see the sites in, and they will likely simply click on the first Google result and then work down the page. The reason we want to be on as many sites as we can afford is so we increase the number of potential clients who come across our profile. The more exposure we get, the more potential clients we can attract. Moving on to step 2, use widely appealing selfies and videos. When you need to make a lot of money fast, it isn't the time to try to be outrageously different or unique or to try to tap into a niche market. A niche market is a small market which has a very specific and often uncommon set of needs or desires, like BDSM. Now, there is a lot of success to be found in specializing in a niche market and really getting it right and totally dominating all the clients so that you're the escort of choice for that particular thing. But this often takes time and testing. If you need money fast, this isn't the time to do it. The majority of clients have pretty standard and vanilla tastes and preferences, and this is what they're looking for. A typical GFE girlfriend experience. So they want to spend time with an escort in a physically intimate way like they would with a real girlfriend. Attraction. They want to be attracted, mostly physically, but not just physically, to the escort they choose. Genuine and authentic photos. Because clients are booking you on an online platform, before they actually meet you and part with their money, they want confidence that your photos depict how you look in real life. And a simple and easy booking process. Booking an escort is daunting and sometimes problematic enough personally as it is. So don't make your clients jump through endless hoops to get to see you. The easier and simpler you make it for a client to see you, the more likely they are to turn up and give you their money. Successfully delivering the first 3 of these 4 things is largely about the profile photos and videos you have on your escort profile. Now, because you don't have the money or time for a professional photo shoot, you're going to need to take really good selfies and videos. And they need to be the types of selfies and videos clients actually want to see. Not a photo where you think your hair looks good, because clients don't care about hair. Here is the exact range of selfies you should have on your profile. I call them the ultimate GFE set. Let's go through them now. They include a range of differing poses and outfits, and you should have 10 to 12 photos in total. Let's start with the poses. Firstly, you want a photo of your body front on, as full body as possible so clients get a really good understanding of what you look like. You want a photo of a butt view, cleavage and or breasts, a smile or face focus photo, kneeling or seated or a side view of some kind, and then nude or almost nude. For the sake of YouTube, I've covered up the rude bits. Next, outfits. You want an outfit in a flattery girly dress, everyday sexy underwear, think Calvin Klein set, jeans and a crop top, mini shorts or mini skirt and a top, and then a dress up, something like a schoolgirl or a gym outfit. The ultimate fantasy for a man, especially when he's paying for it, is that the experience is real. A client wants to feel like he's having an unpaid encounter with a normal girl, albeit one who he finds sexually desirable and who he can be intimate with no strings attached. Your profile is like a sales letter, and the photos are the most important part. Imagine you were shopping online for a dress. 80% of your buying decision would be about how the dress actually looked in the photos that were shown, and your escort profile is the same. You want 10 to 12 photos in total, and you want to put as much time and effort as possible into making these photos as good as you possibly can. Now, for most women, taking good selfies is reliant on 3 things. Number 1, picking outfits that flatter your body type. So for example, I've always had bigger legs, so I don't wear mini shorts. They just don't look good on me. You need to know your body and wear outfits that draw attention to your strongest physical attributes. Modify any of the outfits I've listed so the style is the same but it suits you. So for example, when I wear a gym outfit for a client, I wear tight, shapely leggings rather than mini shorts. 2, know your angles. Again, everyone's body is different. You are going to need to learn how to pose your body so it looks as good as possible. To do this, I recommend going on social media and finding a girl with a similar body type to yours who posts great photos. Just look for them on places like Instagram and then copy their poses. You're going to need to take a lot of photos in a lot of different angles to find your best angles. And thirdly, editing. Don't edit your photos so you look like a different human, but do take advantage of editing so your photos look as good as your authentic self possibly can. That means smoothing your skin, removing blemishes, smoothing out body creases a little. Enhance your photos as much as possible while still ensuring that a client could feel confident it's you when he opens the door. If it takes a whole day of taking photos and editing to get 10 to 12 amazing photos, then do it. It is worth the time, and it costs you nothing, but it will be the thing that makes you thousands. Next are videos. Short videos or boomerangs are becoming increasingly more popular and necessary on escort profiles because clients know how much photos can be edited, and so videos provide further confidence that your photos are really you because they're harder to edit. Take 3 to 4 mini videos of yourself in different outfits and locations. Again, be selective about your outfits and angles. If you're unsure, look for videos from women with similar body types where they look good and copy exactly what they do. When I first started escorting, I was terrible at taking selfies. I mean, my selfies were truly shockingly bad. Very few people are naturally photogenic, and I was certainly not naturally blessed in this department. But this is a crucial skill which is worth investing significant time into as an escort. The better your profile is, the more work you will get. And if you can't afford a professional photographer in editing, then it's all on you. If you do anything hundreds and thousands of times, you will get better at it. So keep taking photos until they start to look good. And don't put any photo on your profile where you look just okay. You want to look like the absolute best version of yourself in everything a client is seeing before he makes a decision to book you. Step number 3, create the ultimate GFE offer. Now that you have your ultimate GFE selfies and videos, you want an ultimate GFE service offering to match it. Start by making a list of all the physical services you're willing to perform with a client, regardless of the specific price. Then split this into 2 offerings. The first one will be your base service offer, called the Ultimate GFE. For a client, it's basically the girlfriend you always wished you had. Include in it all the services you're willing to provide at your base hourly rate. So, for example, if your base hourly rate is $500, and for this rate, you're willing to offer 10 of the 15 services you listed, then this is what your ultimate GFE option would include. Then select an additional rate you would charge per hour for the other 5 services you will perform with a client for an extra fee. And you can call this the raunchy GFE, the naughty GFE, or PSE. And this should be pitched to clients as the girlfriend you always wished you had and it's your birthday. Do not overcomplicate this by charging additional rates for extra services here and there. You just want 2 clear options: the ultimate GFE and the raunchy or naughty GFE or PSE. That's it. Why? Because we want to make the booking process simple and easy to navigate for a client. Too often, I see escorts with 6 different service options on their profile, and it's just a nightmare for clients to navigate. If there's anything extra a client wants from you, he will just text you and ask. If it isn't a common request, then don't worry about addressing it on your profile. All you need to do is decide everything you're willing to do with a paying client, then split it into 2 service options. Pro tip: many clients will inquire about your base ultimate GFE option, the cheapest option. When they do, you want to upsell them to the raunchy GFE option by saying, "Would you like to upgrade to my raunchy GFE? It includes all my services and allows for a more naturally evolving experience with no boundaries." Step number 4, offer conveniently located incalls. Now, you will get more work if you can host the client. It is as simple as that. Clients don't want to pay for a hotel for you to visit them if they aren't already staying in one, which they often aren't. And you will get even more work if your in-call is centrally located and conveniently accessible. If at first you don't have access to an in-call that fits this brief, then you have the following options. You can firstly host and work from home if appropriate. Working from your home space is often not ideal, but sometimes you're forced to start here to make fast cash so you can afford to rent something else. You can text 20 escorts or more who are advertising in your area as offering in-calls and ask if any of them will rent their in-call out for a fee. You can find a hotel that rents by the hour and allows short notice bookings, or you can use Airbnb and book contactless instant booking listings. Now, none of these are as simple or convenient as having a dedicated incall, but dedicated incalls cost money and usually require a commitment of some kind. You can also offer outcalls only, but this will seriously decrease your booking volume. In my experience, 70% of work is in-call. Use any of these options until you've built up enough funds to have a dedicated in-call location. Step 5. Work hard and think of the money, honey. Often I preach rest, self-care, and thinking long-term. And to be clear, I stand by all of these principles. But sometimes circumstances call for good old-fashioned hard work. If you do steps 1 to 4 and then you prioritize work by responding to every inquiry and take every booking for 30 days, you will in most cases make serious money. It can be tempting to go out for brunch with friends when your work phone is quiet. I mean, it's certainly more enjoyable. And when it's 10 p.m. and you're tired and you've been sitting by your phone all day waiting for a booking to come, you are going to want to go to bed. But these are the moments you need to push through, because often this is where work will come. While I don't recommend late night work indefinitely, it can be a good place to make some serious money in the short term. If you need cash fast, you might just need to work hard for a short while. If you make $10,000 in 30 days, you will have the money you need to invest in a high-end profile which attracts premium clients at $1,000 or more, and which doesn't require high-volume work to make good money. But Rome wasn't built in a day. Sometimes you need to work your way to the top, and there are some serious benefits to high-volume work. For example, if you do a good job in the room, you will pick up lots of regulars along the way, and the next $10,000 you need to make will become much easier. You'll also learn a lot about what clients like and don't like, and about what works and doesn't work. You'll make a lot of money fast, and with money comes options. So you'll be able to take your time in an unrushed way in making a really standout, premium, highly converting profile on the best sites which attract the wealthiest and best clients. You'll have money to invest in a fantastic in-call that offers clients everything they need. You'll be able to afford to invest in more self-care and things that elevate your appearance, which translates to a better high-end profile. And most importantly, you'll be way less stressed. The stress of no money and no bookings is a real killer, and it's what holds many escorts back from really investing in and attaining the lifestyle of their dreams. The problem is, we all want that lifestyle now, without realizing that we have to put in the work to get it. Sometimes you gotta work really hard to earn the right to take your foot off the pedal. At least I know I did. I did volume work for years before I eventually worked my way up to charging $2,000 an hour. During my career, I spent time with multi-millionaire clients at their beachside mansions. I got flown to 5-star hotel openings, I did bookings on private yachts, I even had famous AFL football stars as clients. But I had to work my way to get there. Now, my final takeaway for anyone wanting to make a lot of money fast is not to overcomplicate it. Don't worry about picking the right escort name. Any female name that is easy to say and spell will do. Don't worry about having a website or social media accounts or branding. Don't stress about having the best high-end lingerie. All of these things are what I call the 1%ers. They make a difference, but only when you're already busy with work. If you aren't consistently making $2,000 to $2,500 a week as an escort, I'm talking Australian dollars, which is about 8 to 10K a month, then you should not be spending time doing anything other than focusing on the aforementioned 5 steps. Just last month, one of the escorts in my mentorship program made $19,300 in 7 days, focusing on just these things. She has no website and no Twitter account. We didn't worry about how to get clients to buy her gifts or take her to dinner or her personal branding. We just focused on doing these 5 steps well, and she got results. Now, $19,300 in a week is amazing, and I commend her. Is it something she can repeat every week? No, because that kind of volume isn't sustainable. But $19,300 is a decent amount of money that opens the door to many options. Options that are long-term and sustainable, and which increase the quality of her lifestyle and her wealth over an elongated period of time. Now, I wish I had known these things in the first few years I worked as an escort and repeatedly found myself in the unfortunate position of being broke. Sometimes you up and quit your whole career for a man, and other times you're off work for serious health issues. The why of it ultimately doesn't matter that much, not when you need cash and you need it now. So don't overcomplicate it. Focus only on what matters. Bank as much cash as possible. Don't spend it on silly things. Then enjoy the benefit of having options to work out your next move. That's all for this video. If this helped you, then let me know by commenting below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.